The strength of character is not something handed to you. It's forged in the crucible of life's challenges. It's the foundation upon which you build your existence, a structure of integrity, discipline, and resilience that allows you to navigate the chaos of the world. But strength of character doesn't come easy. It demands sacrifice, honesty, and an unflinching willingness to confront the truths you'd rather avoid. What does it mean to be strong in character? It's not just about adhering to principles or projecting a facade of righteousness. It's about standing firm when everything around you is crumbling. It's about taking responsibility for your actions, for your failings, and for the burdens you carry. And even more, it's about carrying those burdens with dignity. Strength of character begins with the ability to delay gratification, to forgo the fleeting pleasure of the moment, for the sake of something more substantial, more enduring. This is where discipline comes in. Discipline that tempers your desires and keeps you focused on your goals. Without discipline, the character collapses, leaving behind only the chaos of indulgence. But it's not enough to be disciplined. You must also be truthful. Truth is a sword that cuts through delusion, exposing what is real and what is false. Lies corrode the soul, and self-deception is the most insidious of them all. The truth might hurt, but it's only through confronting it that you grow stronger. There's also courage, an indispensable component of character. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the resolve to act in spite of it. The world will test you, and there will be moments when you'll feel like giving up, when the weight of existence feels unbearable. But those are the moments that define you. Strength of character is forged in the face of adversity, not in its absence. My friends, we don't have to be special. We don't have to be special winners. We can be winners. We just have to be strong enough. Humility, too, is essential. To be strong in character is to understand that you are not omnipotent. You have limitations, and there will always be more to learn. Arrogance blinds you to growth, but humility opens the door to wisdom. Life is complex, messy, and complex. Our capacity for great thought and learning is limited. To the greater the complexity, the less we will see it, and the greater the variety we will experience. You feel those limitations when you think. And perhaps most importantly, strength of character is about service. It's about using your strength not just for your own benefit, but for the betterment of others. A life lived purely for oneself is shallow and unsatisfying. It's in giving that you truly build character. Well, the question is not whether life will challenge you. It will. The question is whether you'll rise to meet those challenges with the strength of character that refuses to yield. Strength of character is not something we are born with. It is something we develop over time, often through the most challenging moments of our lives. It is forged in the fires of adversity, shaped by the weight of our struggles, and refined by the choices we make when faced with difficult circumstances. Life does not spare anyone from hardship. Each of us will face moments that test the very essence of who we are, moments where our values, resilience, and courage are put to the ultimate test. Sometimes it is in these moments, when the stakes are high and the outcomes uncertain, that the true strength of character begins to take form. For Bellamy, it never felt tough to walk away. Her pride, her courage, and her resiliency went forth in full. Challenges do not just reveal character, they build it. When life pushes you to your limits, it forces you to confront the core of your being. Are you willing to endure discomfort, uncertainty, and even failure to uphold your principles? Are you prepared to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term integrity? These are not hypothetical questions. They are the choices that define a person. Without challenges, there is no opportunity for growth. Adversity acts as a mirror, reflecting back to us the areas where we are strong and, perhaps more importantly, the areas where we are weak. Take a closer look. The process of building strength of character through challenges is not passive. It requires active engagement, deliberate effort, and a mindset that is willing to learn from pain and failure. When confronted with hardship, you have a choice. You can let it defeat you, allowing bitterness and despair to take hold, or you can face it head on, using it as a stepping stone toward growth. This is not an easy path, but it is the only path that leads to genuine strength. Every setback, every loss, every moment of doubt is an opportunity to develop resilience, to learn patience, and to cultivate a sense of inner fortitude. Consider this. How often do we wish for lives free of struggle, imagining that happiness lies in ease and comfort? Yet a life without challenge is a life without growth. Strength of character cannot be built in a vacuum. It requires resistance, just as muscles require resistance to grow stronger. The more you face and overcome difficulties, the more you realize that your capacity for resilience is far greater than you once believed. I ask you this week, this realization becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. The more you endure, the more confidence you gain in your ability to face future challenges. Moreover, challenges do not merely test your external capabilities. They challenge your internal values. When life puts you under pressure, it often reveals the gap between what you say you believe and how you actually behave. For example, you might claim to value honesty, but what happens when telling the truth could cost you something significant? Or you might see yourself as someone who values perseverance, but do you hold on to that belief when the odds are stacked against you? These moments are crucibles in which your character is either strengthened or weakened, depending on the choices you make. Building strength of character through challenges also demands a willingness to take responsibility. It is easy to blame external circumstances for your struggles, to point fingers at others, or to wallow in self-pity. But this approach achieves nothing. True strength comes from looking inward, from acknowledging your role in your circumstances, and from taking ownership of your actions and their consequences. When you take responsibility, you regain a sense of control. You stop being a victim of life's challenges and start becoming an active participant in your own growth. This process is not without its costs. It often involves pain, sacrifice, and moments of profound discomfort, but the rewards are immeasurable. Each challenge you overcome leaves you stronger, more confident, and more capable of handling what comes next. You learn to trust yourself, to rely on your inner strength, and to navigate life with a sense of purpose and clarity. Strength of character, then, is not merely a trait. It is a way of being, cultivated through the deliberate choice to face challenges rather than avoid them. Taking responsibility for your actions and burdens is one of the most profound markers of strength and maturity. It is the bedrock upon which a meaningful life is built, a principle that transforms chaos into order and helplessness into empowerment. When you take responsibility, you acknowledge your role in shaping your life, no matter how difficult or uncontrollable your circumstances may seem. You can't imagine a more important marker of political intelligence than your personal responsibility for your circumstances. This act of ownership is not about blaming yourself for everything that happens. It's about recognizing the power you have to respond, adapt, and grow. To take responsibility is to reject the seductive pull of victimhood. It's easy to blame others for your failures or misfortunes, your upbringing, your circumstances, the unfairness of the world. And while these factors may indeed contribute to your situation, dwelling on them achieves nothing. Blame is a stagnant force. It holds you in place, offering comfort at the cost of progress. Responsibility, on the other hand, is dynamic. It propels you forward by shifting your focus from what is outside your control to what you can do to improve your situation. This shift is transformative. It turns obstacles into challenges and challenges into opportunities for growth. When you take responsibility, you step into the driver's seat of your life. You accept that your decisions, actions, and even inactions have consequences, and you commit to facing those consequences with integrity. This is not an easy path. It requires courage and humility. Courage, because it's often uncomfortable to admit when you've made mistakes or fallen short. Humility, because taking responsibility means setting aside your ego and acknowledging your imperfections. But in this discomfort lies the opportunity for growth. Every mistake you own up to becomes a lesson. Every burden you accept becomes a chance to strengthen your character. Taking responsibility also means being honest with yourself. It's not just about admitting your faults to others. It's about confronting the truths you'd rather avoid. Are you truly putting in the effort required to achieve your goals, or are you coasting on excuses? Are you treating others with the respect and fairness you expect in return? These questions are not easy to answer, but they are necessary. Self-deception is a barrier to responsibility, and only through honesty can you begin to dismantle it. Another aspect of responsibility is carrying your burdens with dignity. Life is full of challenges, some of them unavoidable, some of them self-inflicted. Either way, they are yours to bear. When you take responsibility for your burdens, you refuse to let them define you or dictate your attitude. Instead, you carry them as best you can, using them as a source of strength rather than a cause for despair. This doesn't mean you have to do it alone. Asking for help, seeking guidance, or leaning on others in times of need is not a sign of weakness. It's an acknowledgement of your humanity. Responsibility is not about isolating yourself. It's about actively participating in the process of managing your life and its challenges. Furthermore, taking responsibility extends beyond your personal struggles. It's about recognizing the impact of your actions on others. How do your choices affect your family, your friends, your community? Responsibility is inherently relational. It's about understanding that your life is interconnected with those around you and acting in ways that reflect this understanding. This might mean apologizing when you've wronged someone, stepping up to fulfill a commitment you'd rather avoid, or doing your part to contribute to the well-being of others. Each of these acts strengthens not only your character, but also the bonds that hold us together as a society. In taking responsibility, you free yourself from the passive role of reacting to life's events and embrace the active role of shaping your destiny. You cultivate a sense of agency, knowing that while you cannot control everything, you can control how you respond. This mindset is empowering. It allows you to face challenges with resilience, setbacks with determination, and successes with humility. Responsibility is not a burden to be feared, but a privilege to be embraced. It is the foundation of a life lived with purpose, integrity, and strength. Delaying gratification and practicing discipline are central to building a strong character and achieving a meaningful life. In a world that constantly tempts us with instant rewards and immediate pleasures, it takes remarkable strength to resist the pull of short-term satisfaction in favor of long-term goals. Yet this ability to delay gratification is what separates fleeting happiness from lasting fulfillment. It is a skill that requires self-awareness, intentionality, and a deep understanding of what truly matters in life. Delaying gratification begins with recognizing that not all pleasures are created equal. The things that bring immediate joy often lack depth and sustainability. Whether it's indulging in unhealthy habits, procrastinating on important tasks, or chasing superficial desires, these momentary pleasures tend to leave us feeling empty in the long run. This, on the other hand, the rewards that come from patience and discipline, mastery of a skill, strong relationships, or personal growth are far more meaningful. However, these rewards require effort, sacrifice, and the willingness to endure discomfort. Discipline is the mechanism that enables us to choose long-term fulfillment over short-term temptation. It acts as a guide, keeping us aligned with our values and goals, even when distractions threaten to pull us off course. Discipline is not about suppressing your desires entirely. It's about prioritizing them in a way that serves your higher purpose. For example, choosing to study for an exam instead of binge-watching a TV series may feel restrictive in the moment, but the long-term benefits, knowledge, achievement, and self-respect far outweigh the temporary pleasure of entertainment. Practicing discipline requires a clear vision of what you want to achieve and why it matters. Without this clarity, it's easy to give in to impulses and lose sight of your goals. Discipline is not an abstract concept. It's a series of daily choices that collectively shape your life. Each time you resist an unhealthy temptation or push yourself to complete a task you'd rather avoid, you strengthen your ability to stay focused and resilient. These small victories build momentum, creating a positive feedback loop that reinforces your commitment to your goals. Delaying gratification is also about learning to manage your emotions. Impulses are often driven by emotional triggers, stress, boredom, or the desire for instant relief from discomfort. When you cultivate emotional awareness, you can recognize these triggers for what they are and respond to them more thoughtfully. This doesn't mean suppressing your emotions. It means acknowledging them without letting them dictate your actions. For example, instead of impulsively eating junk food when you're stressed, you might choose to go for a walk, meditate, or talk to a friend. These healthier responses not only help you maintain discipline, but also contribute to your overall well-being. Moreover, delaying gratification fosters resilience. Life is full of challenges, and the ability to endure hardship without giving up is a hallmark of strong character. Each time you choose to delay gratification, you are practicing patience and perseverance, both of which are essential for overcoming obstacles. This resilience extends beyond personal achievements. It equips you to handle setbacks, failures, and disappointments with grace and determination. It's important to note that delaying gratification doesn't mean denying yourself all pleasures or living a joyless life. It's about finding balance and understanding the difference between immediate satisfaction and enduring fulfillment. For example, taking a break to rest and recharge is not a failure of discipline. It's an investment in your long-term productivity and mental health. The key is to make choices that align with your values and contribute to your growth rather than simply seeking temporary relief from discomfort. The rewards of delaying gratification and practicing discipline are profound. You develop self-respect, knowing that you have the strength to follow through on your commitments. You gain confidence in your ability to set and achieve meaningful goals. You build deeper relationships, as discipline often involves honoring your responsibilities to others. And most importantly, you create a life that reflects your highest aspirations, rather than one dictated by fleeting desires. Ultimately, the ability to delay gratification and practice discipline is a cornerstone of a strong character. It allows you to rise above impulsivity, take control of your actions, and focus on what truly matters. It is a lifelong practice, one that requires effort and intention, but yields immeasurable rewards. Each moment of discipline is a step toward a life of purpose, fulfillment, and integrity. Truthfulness, even when painful, is essential for genuine growth and resilience. It is the foundation upon which a meaningful life is built, and yet it is one of the most challenging principles to uphold. The truth is often uncomfortable, inconvenient, or even threatening, but avoiding it comes at a far greater cost. To embrace truthfulness is to commit to seeing the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to confront not only external realities, but also the hidden corners of your own mind. At its core, truthfulness is about alignment between your words, actions, and the reality of your circumstances. It is about refusing to distort or manipulate the facts, no matter how tempting it might be to do so for personal gain or convenience. Lies, whether spoken to others or told to yourself, create fractures in your character. They undermine your integrity, erode trust, and ultimately trap you in a web of deception that becomes harder to escape with each falsehood. While a lie might offer temporary relief or advantage, it is a fragile construct, vulnerable to collapse at the slightest scrutiny. The first step in embracing truthfulness is recognizing its necessity in your relationship with yourself. Self-deception is perhaps the most damaging form of dishonesty because it blinds you to your flaws, limits your growth, and keeps you trapped in patterns of behavior that sabotage your potential. When you lie to yourself about your capabilities, your motivations, or the consequences of your actions, you create a distorted version of reality that prevents meaningful change. For example, if you constantly tell yourself that external factors are solely to blame for your failures, you miss the opportunity to address the ways in which your own choices contribute to your outcomes. Facing the truth about yourself is rarely comfortable, but it is the only path to genuine improvement. Being truthful with others is equally vital. Honesty builds trust, and trust is the foundation of all meaningful relationships, whether personal, professional, or societal. When you are truthful, people know they can rely on you, and this reliability fosters deeper connections. Conversely, dishonesty breeds suspicion, resentment, and division. Even small lies, when repeated, can accumulate into significant breaches of trust that are difficult, if not impossible, to repair. Lack of recognition can breach social relations, business relations, spiritual and financial, to name a few, and this is why truthfulness, though challenging, is always the better choice in the long run. However, truthfulness is not just about stating facts. It is about doing so with integrity and compassion. Being truthful does not mean being harsh or unkind. The goal is not to use the truth as a weapon to harm others, but to communicate it in a way that encourages understanding and growth. This requires discernment, knowing when and how to share the truth so that it serves a constructive purpose. For instance, giving honest feedback to someone about their behavior or performance can be difficult, but when done thoughtfully, it can help them grow and improve. Truthfulness and kindness are not mutually exclusive. They complement each other when approached with the right intent. One of the greatest challenges of truthfulness is the courage it demands. The truth can be unsettling. It can force you to confront your failures, acknowledge uncomfortable realities, or challenge deeply held beliefs. There will be times when the truth threatens your sense of security or puts you at odds with others. Yet it is in these moments of discomfort that truthfulness becomes most crucial. Growth and resilience are not possible without the willingness to face difficult truths. Avoiding them might offer temporary comfort, but it leaves you ill-prepared to navigate life's complexities and challenges. Embracing truthfulness also requires humility. To be truthful is to admit that you do not know everything, that you make mistakes, and that you have room to grow. This humility is not a weakness, but a strength. It opens the door to learning, self-improvement, and deeper connections with others. When you acknowledge your imperfections honestly, you give yourself permission to evolve and invite others to do the same. Ultimately, truthfulness is not just a virtue, it is a practice. It is a commitment to live authentically, to face reality with courage, and to build a life rooted in integrity. Each time you choose truth over falsehood, you strengthen your character and reinforce your ability to handle life's complexities with resilience. Truthfulness is not the easiest path, but it is the most rewarding. It allows you to live with clarity, to grow with intention, and to build relationships that are genuine and enduring. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the resolve to act despite fear. It is the quality that enables individuals to confront difficulties, dangers, and uncertainties with a steadfast heart. Courage is an indispensable component of character because life will inevitably present moments that demand bold decisions, uncomfortable truths, and sacrifices for higher principles. To live with courage is to embrace the reality that growth, progress, and integrity often require stepping into the unknown and facing challenges that might initially feel insurmountable. Fear is a natural and universal emotion. It alerts us to threats and prepares us to respond to danger. But fear, when allowed to dominate, becomes paralyzing. It keeps us from pursuing our goals, defending our values, or confronting the obstacles that block our path. Courage is what allows us to rise above this paralysis. It is not about ignoring fear or pretending it doesn't exist. It's about acknowledging it, understanding its source, and deciding that something more important than fear demands your action. One of the most important aspects of courage is the willingness to take risks. Every meaningful endeavor involves some degree of uncertainty, whether it's pursuing a career aspiration, standing up for what you believe in, or striving to overcome a personal challenge. There are no guarantees of success. Courage means accepting this uncertainty and taking action anyway. It is the recognition that while failure is a possibility, inaction is a certainty. Without courage, potential remains unrealized, opportunities are missed, and growth is stifled. Courage also involves confronting the uncomfortable truths about yourself and your circumstances. It's easy to avoid looking too closely at your shortcomings, past mistakes, or areas where you need to improve. But self-deception and denial only serve to keep you stuck in patterns of behavior that hold you back. Courage requires you to face these truths head on, not with self-judgment, but with the determination to grow. With this, it's about asking yourself difficult questions. What am I avoiding? Where am I falling short? What changes do I need to make to live in alignment with my values? The answers to these questions are rarely easy, but they are the starting point for meaningful transformation. Another dimension of courage is standing up for what is right, even when it's unpopular or inconvenient. This requires moral courage, a type of bravery that involves defending your principles and values, often at a personal cost. Whether it's speaking out against injustice, challenging unethical behavior, or supporting someone in need, moral courage is a powerful force for positive change. It can be lonely and challenging to take a stand, especially when faced with opposition, criticism, or the fear of social rejection. Yet history is full of examples of individuals whose courage to uphold their convictions changed the world. Their actions remind us that true strength lies in doing what is right, not what is easy. Courage is equally important in the face of failure and adversity. Life will test you, sometimes to your limits, with setbacks, disappointments, and losses. In these moments, courage means choosing to persevere, to try again, and to continue striving despite the weight of your challenges. It is the recognition that failure is not the end, but a step in the journey. Each time you face adversity with courage, you build resilience, proving to yourself that you are capable of enduring hardship and emerging stronger on the other side. An often overlooked aspect of courage is vulnerability. To open yourself to others, to express your emotions, and to take risks in relationships requires immense bravery. It's a different kind of courage, one that involves the willingness to be seen for who you truly are, flaws and all. This vulnerability fosters deeper connections and creates space for authentic relationships to flourish. Courage is really hard in this case because, in so many ways, courage, in all its forms, is a practice rather than a fixed trait. It grows through action. Each time you choose to face a fear, take a risk, or confront a challenge, you strengthen your capacity for courage. It is a skill that can be cultivated over time, and each act of bravery builds on the last, creating a foundation of strength that enables you to face even greater challenges in the future. Ultimately, courage is what allows us to live fully and authentically. It empowers us to pursue our dreams, uphold our values, and navigate the complexities of life with integrity. It is not about being fearless, but about being willing to act in the presence of fear, knowing that growth, meaning, and fulfillment lie on the other side. Courage is the bridge between who we are and who we have the potential to become. Empathy and compassion are at the heart of human connection and understanding. These qualities enable us to step outside our own perspectives and recognize the emotions, experiences, and struggles of others. Empathy is the ability to feel what someone else is feeling, while compassion is the willingness to act on that understanding to alleviate another's pain or hardship. Together, they form the foundation of meaningful relationships and a cohesive society. Cultivating empathy and compassion is not just an emotional exercise. It is an active commitment to seeing the world through others' eyes and responding with kindness and care. Empathy begins with listening, not just hearing words, but truly understanding the thoughts and emotions behind them. In a world where distractions abound and communication often takes place on the surface, deep listening is an act of respect and attentiveness. It requires you to set aside your own assumptions, judgments, and agendas to focus fully on the person in front of you. When you listen empathetically, you validate the other person's experience, showing them that their feelings matter and that they are not alone. This kind of listening is transformative. It builds trust, deepens relationships, and creates a space for genuine connection. However, empathy is not just about listening to others. It's also about imagining yourself in their position. It involves stepping outside of your own perspective and trying to see the world through their eyes. This can be challenging, especially when someone's experiences or values differ significantly from your own. But empathy requires effort. It's about pushing past the boundaries of your own understanding to connect with another person's humanity. This doesn't mean you have to agree with everything they say or do. It means you recognize their feelings as valid, even if their viewpoint is different from yours. And together we can dramatically improve the quality of our lives if we share the belief that we can do better. Compassion takes empathy a step further. While empathy allows you to feel and understand someone else's pain, compassion compels you to take action to help alleviate it. Compassion is not passive. It's an active choice to extend kindness and support, even when it's inconvenient or requires personal sacrifice. This could mean offering a helping hand to someone in need, standing up for someone who is being mistreated, or simply being there to listen and provide comfort. Compassion is about recognizing the shared vulnerability that connects all human beings and responding with care and generosity. Empathy and compassion are not signs of weakness. They are expressions of strength. It takes courage to be vulnerable, to open yourself to the emotions of others, and to care deeply in a world that often values self-interest over communal well-being. When you practice empathy and compassion, you demonstrate a willingness to engage with the complexities of human relationships rather than retreating into apathy or indifference. This willingness to connect and care is what builds strong communities and fosters mutual understanding. How can protect? Developing empathy and compassion also requires self-awareness. You cannot fully understand or care for others if you are disconnected from your own emotions and needs. Self-compassion is a critical part of this process. When you are kind to yourself and acknowledge your own struggles without judgment, you create a foundation from which you can extend that same kindness to others. Self-compassion does not mean indulging in self-pity. It means treating yourself with the same understanding and care that you would offer a friend in need. This practice not only enhances your well-being, but also makes you more capable of empathizing with others. Empathy and compassion are powerful tools for bridging divides and resolving conflicts. They allow you to see beyond surface-level disagreements and understand the underlying fears, desires, and motivations that drive human behavior. When you approach conflicts with empathy, you are more likely to find common ground and work towards solutions that honor everyone's needs. Compassion, in turn, motivates you to prioritize the well-being of others, even when it requires compromise or forgiveness. These qualities are essential for creating a more harmonious and just world. It's important to remember that empathy and compassion are skills that can be developed and strengthened over time. They require practice, intention, and a willingness to challenge your own biases and limitations. This might mean seeking out diverse perspectives, engaging in acts of service, or simply taking the time to connect with others on a deeper level. Every small act of empathy and compassion contributes to a ripple effect, inspiring others to do the same and creating a more compassionate world. Ultimately, empathy and compassion are not just about what you give to others, they are about the kind of person you choose to be. They are reflections of your commitment to understanding, kindness, and shared humanity. By cultivating these qualities, you not only enrich the lives of those around you, but also create a life filled with deeper connections, greater purpose, and profound meaning. Empathy and compassion are acts of strength that remind us of the beauty and power of human connection, even in the face of life's challenges. Taking responsibility for your actions is a cornerstone of personal growth and character development. It is the practice of owning your choices, decisions, and their consequences, regardless of whether the outcomes are positive or negative. Responsibility is about recognizing that your life is largely shaped by what you do or fail to do. and that blaming others or external circumstances for your challenges will not move you forward. It's a mindset of accountability that empowers you to learn, grow, and create a meaningful life. Responsibility starts with self-awareness. To take responsibility, you must first acknowledge your role in the outcomes of your life. This involves honest reflection on your behaviors, decisions, and patterns of thinking. For instance, if you consistently find yourself in conflict with others, taking responsibility means examining your own contributions to these situations. Are you communicating clearly? Are you being fair and respectful? While it's easy to point fingers at others, true accountability requires you to look inward and ask how your actions or attitudes may have played a part. Taking responsibility does not mean blaming yourself for everything that goes wrong in your life. There are many factors beyond your control, circumstances, other people's decisions, and random events that can affect your outcomes. However, even in situations where you are not at fault, you are still responsible for how you respond. Life is unpredictable, and challenges are inevitable. What defines your character is not whether you encounter difficulty, but how you choose to face it. Taking responsibility for your response to adversity is what allows you to grow stronger and more resilient. When you take responsibility, you reclaim your power. Blaming others or external circumstances might feel satisfying in the moment, but it ultimately leaves you feeling powerless. If everything is someone else's fault, then there is little you can do to change your situation. Responsibility shifts the focus back to what you can control: your actions, your mindset, and your decisions. This sense of agency is liberating because it reminds you that you are not a passive victim of your circumstances. You have the ability to influence your own life and create a better future. Another critical aspect of responsibility is following through on your commitments. When you make a promise or set a goal, taking responsibility means doing everything in your power to honor that commitment. This applies not only to commitments you make to others, but also to those you make to yourself. If you set a goal to improve your health, for example, taking responsibility means sticking to your plan, even when it's difficult or inconvenient. When you consistently follow through, you build self-respect and trust, both with yourself and with others. Taking responsibility also means acknowledging your mistakes and making amends. No one is perfect, and everyone makes errors in judgment or lapses in behavior from time to time. What matters is how you handle these moments. Taking responsibility involves admitting when you are wrong, apologizing sincerely, and taking steps to make things right. This is not always easy. It requires humility and courage. However, owning your mistakes is a sign of strength, not weakness. It demonstrates integrity and a commitment to growth. Responsibility extends beyond your individual life to your role in your community and society. It's about recognizing that your actions have an impact on others and being mindful of how you contribute to the greater good. This could mean being a reliable team member at work, treating others with kindness and respect, or taking steps to protect the environment. When you take responsibility for your role in the broader world, you contribute to a culture of accountability and mutual support. Responsibility is closely tied to the concept of personal integrity. When you take responsibility for your actions, you align your behavior with your values. You become someone who can be trusted, someone who others look up to as a role model. This alignment creates a sense of inner peace and confidence because you know you are living authentically and doing your best to uphold your principles. One of the most profound effects of taking responsibility is the way it transforms your mindset. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, you begin to see them as opportunities for growth. When you take ownership of your life, you adopt a proactive attitude, looking for solutions rather than dwelling on problems. This mindset shift not only helps you achieve your goals, but also enhances your resilience and ability to navigate life's uncertainties. Ultimately, taking responsibility for your actions is a lifelong practice. It requires ongoing effort, reflection, and a willingness to confront uncomfortable truths. But the rewards are immense. Responsibility gives you the power to shape your life, the the strength to overcome challenges, and the integrity to build meaningful relationships. It is not a burden, it is a privilege, the opportunity to take charge of your life and make it something extraordinary. The pursuit of lifelong learning is a defining trait of those who seek to grow in character and wisdom. It is the recognition that no matter how much you know, there is always more to discover, understand, and apply. Lifelong learning is not merely about formal education or acquiring new skills. It is a mindset, a way of approaching the world with curiosity, humility, and an openness to new experiences. It reflects an understanding that personal growth and self-improvement are continuous processes, not finite achievements. At its core, lifelong learning begins with curiosity, the desire to explore, question, and understand. Curiosity keeps the mind active and engaged, driving you to seek knowledge not just for practical purposes, but for the sheer joy of discovery. It allows you to look at the world with fresh eyes, noticing connections and possibilities that others might overlook. This sense of wonder is crucial as it fuels the motivation to learn, even in the absence of external rewards. Curiosity pushes you to delve deeper into subjects you're passionate about, while also encouraging you to explore unfamiliar territories that broaden your horizons. Humility plays a vital role in lifelong learning. To commit to this path, you must first accept that you do not and cannot know everything. This acknowledgement is not a sign of weakness, but of strength. It opens the door to growth by allowing you to ask questions, seek guidance, and learn from others. Humility also helps you embrace mistakes and failures as valuable opportunities for learning. When you view setbacks not as indictments of your abilities, but as natural parts of the learning process, you become more resilient and willing to take on challenges that stretch your capabilities. Another critical aspect of lifelong learning is adaptability. The world is constantly changing, and the ability to learn new skills, adapt to new environments, and stay informed is more important than ever. Lifelong learners are those who remain flexible in the face of change, willing to update their knowledge and adjust their perspectives. This adaptability is not just about surviving in a fast-paced world. It's about thriving by staying ahead of the curve and finding creative solutions to new problems. Whether it's learning a new technology, understanding a cultural shift, or gaining insight into a global issue, lifelong learning equips you to navigate an ever-evolving landscape with confidence. This lifelong learning also fosters critical thinking and self-awareness. It teaches you to question assumptions, analyze information, and form well-reasoned conclusions. In a world saturated with information, the ability to discern truth from misinformation is invaluable. Lifelong learners approach knowledge with a healthy skepticism, seeking evidence and exploring multiple perspectives before arriving at their own conclusions. This critical thinking extends to self-reflection, as lifelong learning encourages you to examine your own beliefs, biases, and habits. By doing so, you gain a deeper understanding of yourself and your place in the world. The practice of lifelong learning is not limited to intellectual pursuits. It encompasses emotional, social, and experiential growth as well. Building emotional intelligence, developing meaningful relationships, and exploring new experiences are all forms of learning that enrich your character and broaden your perspective. For example, traveling to unfamiliar places, engaging in volunteer work, or learning a creative skill like painting or music are all ways to expand your understanding of the world and deepen your connection to others. That is, by definition, one of the most powerful benefits of lifelong learning is the sense of purpose and fulfillment it brings. When you are constantly growing, you feel a sense of progress and achievement that enhances your self-worth. Lifelong learning provides a framework for setting goals, challenging yourself, and striving for excellence. It keeps you motivated and engaged, even during periods of difficulty or stagnation. This sense of purpose is particularly important as you age, as it combats feelings of stagnation and helps you remain active, curious, and vibrant throughout your life. Lifelong learning also has a profound impact on your relationships and contributions to the community. When you engage in continuous learning, you bring fresh ideas, insights, and skills to your interactions with others. You become a source of inspiration and knowledge, encouraging those around you to pursue their own growth. And in the process, you become a source of inspiration and knowledge for others. And by the way, moreover, lifelong learning enables you to contribute meaningfully to society by applying your knowledge and skills to solve problems, mentor others, and participate in meaningful causes. It reminds you that learning is not a solitary endeavor, but a shared journey that connects you to a larger purpose. Finally, lifelong learning requires discipline and intentionality. While curiosity may spark the desire to learn, maintaining this commitment over a lifetime takes effort. It involves setting aside time for reading, studying, and reflection, seeking out opportunities to learn from others, and being proactive in exploring new ideas and experiences. It's about cultivating habits that make learning an integral part of your daily life, whether that's through formal education, self-study, or hands-on experiences. By doing so, you ensure that growth remains a constant and enduring part of your character. Lifelong learning is not just a choice. It is a way of life. It is a recognition that growth is infinite and that the pursuit of knowledge and understanding enriches every aspect of existence. By embracing this mindset, you open yourself to a world of possibilities, continuously evolving and contributing to the world around you. The strength of character is the foundation upon which a meaningful and fulfilling life is built. It is not an inherent trait, but a choice, a commitment to cultivate virtues such as resilience, integrity, empathy, and courage. It requires us to face challenges with unwavering resolve, to remain grounded in our values even in the face of adversity, and to take responsibility for our actions while striving for continuous growth. A strong character is not defined by perfection, but by the relentless pursuit of becoming better, wiser, kinder, and more authentic. When we embrace the journey of building character, we not only elevate our own lives, but also inspire others to do the same. It is through the daily practice of discipline, the humility to learn, and the courage to act with integrity that we become the people we were meant to be. Strength of character is what enables us to turn adversity into opportunity, relationships into lasting bonds, and potential into reality. It is ultimately the most enduring and meaningful legacy we can leave behind.